I'm by no means a makeup artist. I mean, I'm probably the worst person in the world at doing makeup. Most days I don't wear any, but when I want to look a little, put together, this is my hack. I don't think it looks good on camera. I think it looks good as a very natural look in person. Extremely natural, no makeup. Makeup, I guess you could say. More so, I feel like this is just the best way to snatch your face a bit, and I love having a snatched face. Essentially, I just take this creamy, dewy bronzing stick and I put on all the edges of my face. I do want to pour into my external vessel. I do believe things manifest, and from the inwards outwards. It's only so much inner work that you can do. At the end of the day, this is how we present our physical vessel or body, the way we look. This is how we present to the world. My area of focus and value has always been to go inwards, and I'm happy that I've been able to find that value in that sense of self and something rooted within myself, and not so superficial. It's something that we all share, but at the end of the day, it's not superficial. These bodies, it's like we are not above our bodies. We are not above. We live in this material world. For so long, I felt like it was just a waste of time. I never really had any patience for putting myself together, and maybe that's just another excuse I make for who knows what. Maybe to not sit still. I'm very restless, but I mean, that's probably on average what is normal, or what's become normal. The rush. In the last few months, I've been trying to make an effort to give more into the playful and the colorful side of life. For so long, I was focused on removing everything material, everything that was distracting me from knowing my inner world, from really sifting through and finding myself. But I got to this point where I felt so detached from the play and the fun of life, and I started to think about, well, why is it so wrong to use materials in this world? When I think back to when I was younger and things I genuinely loved to do, some of my favorite memories have been when I was just drawing with all of these different colors and there was no limitations, and I was just exploring that chalk. Even though it's not natural per se, it is a material thing that allowed us to create memories and allowed us to live and to express and to discover. I guess you could say it's a different kind of self-discovery. Yes, it's a more superficial type of discovery and expression. And I think where materialism gets a bad rep is when it turns into greed, and when it turns into something that is harming the planet and that's taking us away from ourselves. But what if it could be to express ourselves, to not, okay, I'm buying this because everyone has it, but it's in a way to express. So I allowed myself permission to go back to some of my thrifting habits, which yes, is still consuming, but actually thrifting clothes and fashion and all these different ways has been a large part of my story. When I was younger, I wanted to be a fashion designer, and it ties heavily into my story because I just did not believe that that was possible. I come from a family where they're like, you would never be able to do that. I thought dreams and creation was this chance encounter. Now I know differently. I know differently that no, we can create our lives. That's what we're here for. We can create anything that we want, and there's always room for you, for your soul expression when you're being yourself. So I know I'm just thrifting. This sounds maybe too deep for all of this, but I do tend to think about things so much, and sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I'm living this life inside of my head, but that's not what people see. People don't see that. They see the external version of you, and I'm going to make an effort to take what's inside of me and to bring it into the outside world. I realize I'm so much better at the internal world, and there's always work to go in that area. There's always work to go. Because I'm constantly wanting to learn more, I'm constantly wanting things, but I'm also excited to be in this world, to be in my body, to express things, to explore more things, and not such a internal sense. In a moment, and I just like instantly have to write my thought down because I get them in the most random spots. So I'd share. You just post. I grew up in a province in the east coast of Canada where all of the clothes from the States, from the east coast, like all of the great brands and places from New York or just all over, a lot of these clothes would come to this place called Frenchies, and there was these chains across Nova Scotia, that's where I'm from, the province, where they would have these large bins of clothing. But for me, I just loved thrift shopping. I loved going to find pieces. We hardly wore any new clothes unless it was for Christmas or something like that, but once in a while we would be allowed to go to the thrift store and get a few things. I started working very young at the age of 12, so I would take that money that I earned. I started babysitting and berry picking to make money, and I would take that money, I would go to the thrift store, and then I would sometimes try to sell it. At the time there was 2 consignment stores, one 1 hour away, and they took very nice brands, so I'd try to bring some things there to make money, and I did pretty well. As I got older, there's new platforms and I was allowed to have Facebook, and before the marketplace came out, I used to stock up on all these things, spam the internet, like this groups with clothes to sell, and I would have these yard sales on the side of the road, and at 16 I would make like $1,000 in one day cash. And obviously it took a lot of creation, a lot of hours, a lot of time working up to that, and nowadays things are different. A lot of people do stuff like that, but that was kind of my intro of like, okay, how can I make my own way of making money while doing things I loved, and also like keeping some pieces for myself, figuring out my style. It's kind of become this like meditation thing for me.